Hey, what's up, guys? I wanted to take a quick second to remind you to please hit that subscribe button, and if you like what we're doing and want to make a donation to the channel, you can do that via Cash App at American Made Channel. Now let's get into it.
When I had come home, it was brought to my attention that one of the cooperators on my last case, in collaboration with the crime beat reporter from Philadelphia, was working on a book that really just basically ripped me a new backside, as well as my father, but more so me. The focus was basically me. And at that point, I thought about it. I spent the night agonizing over it. I called my mother the next morning and I said, "Ma, listen, if you never speak to me again, I'm going to have to live with it. Because if I can sit and accept this, if I can let a lowlife like this lowlife, a mutt that wasn't even a part of what we were, okay, sit here now and tell my story and my father's story." This is akin to basically, not that we're a royal family, because we're not, but the butler writes a book about the royal family, okay? Then the butler's butler writes a book about the royal family. Now the landscaper is going to write a book about the... What's next? What's next? The pool guy? And you know what I had said? I had said it many times. If I was told that Mikey Scars de Leonardo was writing a book, you know what I would have said? Well, what are you going to do? He was part of that life. You know, he was an associate, and he worked his way up through that life, and he achieved some level in that life. And I would say to myself, disappointingly so, but still, I can understand it. But this was like, I can't even understand. I'm beside myself because basically, Frank, and you attended the trial, this guy's credibility was nil.
Yeah,
we flogged him. We flogged him out of that courtroom. It was so bad, his credibility, that a murder that he says he had ordered, and he implicated a guy named John Burke in the murder. John Burke was facing the death penalty. They didn't even call Alite. The government didn't even call Alite for that. I mean, that shows you how bad this guy was as a witness. It was horrible.
Well, first of all, I had the opportunity to interview all of the jurors following the last trial, and if there was one thing that was unanimous, it was pretty much their contempt for Alite and their complete lack of faith in his credibility. All right, he testified over a number of days, and the longer he testified, the more obvious it became that he just had an agenda to try to convict John, to involve John in things that never had anything to do with John. And fortunately, by the end of his testimony, it became painfully obvious to everybody in the courtroom.
First of all, it was several dozens of murders that they were given absolution for. The cooperating witnesses that were brought against me, we did a chart. Charlie and I had compiled a chart. And in that chart, we've had the cooperating witness and their crimes, and we broke down and totaled up their murders. And it came out to be several dozens of murders that they were given absolution for and basically freed from jail. Now, getting back to the question you had asked, what can be done? I'll tell you what can be done. Okay? Make the cooperating witnesses that come forward. You have these cooperating witnesses that you put them on the stand, and you basically, let's look at it this way. You're telling a guy that you can do whatever you want to do, all the crimes, murder, mayhem, whatever you want to do. But just be sure, be certain that you have somebody you can serve up. Because if you can give us somebody bigger than you can give us that person, don't worry about it. All is going to be forgiven, all will be forgotten. And I believe in my heart, and as I had written in the book, you create a far more wanton criminal.
Bing, pow, boom,